Hey there. So it's been a while, very long while, more than a year actually, and I just really haven't had anything to say. I'm still on track with everything I've said before, that's for sure. So this video here, there's been some stuff going on in Iran that kind of tweaked my mind, as it were, and I really have to make this video now. Let's see. First off, the Muslim faith is a continuation of the God of Abraham belief, and the God of Abraham conceptual idea, whatever that is. In the end, it's monotheism and all that, yes. And so they claim a legacy with that. And, it did change Malcolm X, I will admit. And in that respect, I do respect it. I do consider that for some people it does have value. And, well, look, I know for a fact that Malcolm X left this earth right with God because of the fact that he took the Hajj. Okay. Now, in here, there is a prayer that praises Allah for the synchronicity of the motion of the heavens with that of the earth. Okay? Now, considering what is the idea of Sharia, that being that this Quran was given to mankind by God, okay? And in that respect, they really do, extremely so, put God upon a throne and practice religious governance and all that. And they go to the extreme where they require women to wear the hijab and all that kind of stuff. And then that's kind of what the situation is in Iran today. There's pushback against that going on. The idea of religious governance to excess in the manner in which it is. Now, the prayer now, see, there's a prayer in there that praises Allah for the synchronicity of the motion of the earth with that of the heavens. Now, to understand the truth of what this is, you really have to, we understand what the truth of it is more than they did when the Quran was written. And now this is kind of how it proves that it was not written in heavens, because this here, imagine this is the globe, right? The earth and globe, okay? We understand this in our times. Now see that star over there? Now imagine this is the earth in motion, see? It's orbiting around a center point of gravity that is not that star. But it is, in effect, we understand that the totality of this globe as a concept is common to us in our times today. It was not so in the 10th century. That star, and we also understand that the motion of the earth is not synchronous with that star, the motion of that star. Okay? The star being part of the galaxy and not in a sort of like, what do you call it, a Copernican way of being affected by our star. So the truth of it is that we understand now that they didn't in the 10th century because of their perspective, that we all understand in a common way, is that the motion of the earth is not synchronous with the heavens. But when you're on the earth and you're watching it, it does seem as though the stars do move, and that then proves that prayer was written in the 10th century on the earth at a time when the earth in globe was not understood as the common knowledge thing for humankind. And so what every Muslim astronaut then has to contend with is the fact that the motion of the earth is not synchronous with the stars. So therefore, what God wants me to then really show here now is that Sharia is invalid. Look, those of us who have had a moment of equanimity to validate our place in divinity, we cite a moment of equanimity to authenticate our identity in that way. Muhammad does as well. He cites 2 moments. But those of us who have had those moments know that Muhammad's, what he considers to be proof of his stage of divinity, is not valid. So Muhammad is a fraud. And the idea of Sharia and God as a king is also a fraud. Religion is not to govern. There is not to be religious law. The hijab doesn't get you into heaven. I mean, you got to have a mind to be able to understand heaven, which means you got to be the true you of you in your heart to experience the emotion of true love as the person you really are, to then have a heart to be able to feel heaven. See? And you ain't going to experience that as someone you ain't. And what that someone you ain't is when you conform to this notion of obeying religious law. See? Good luck with synchronizing your heart with the motion of the heaven. Yeah, right. See? So there we are. That's all I've got to say right now, is that there is proof in the Quran that it is not from heaven. So, your Sharia is wrong. And religious governance is also wrong. However, as it inspires a person to change, and as it did in the case of Malcolm X, allowed him to leave this earth right with God,